Continuing here. So, to finish my thought, that's where this term logic dictates comes from. So, we know that we can trust God. Remember, just a little tiny bit of faith is all we need. That God is a holy, good God, completely good in every way, and not at fault, not to be blamed for anything bad, but only to be very grateful to for being this perfect, holy, righteous, and good God whose intentions and whose will and desire for all of us is only the very best. As Scripture puts it, eye hath not seen nor ear heard what the Lord has in store for those that love him. And it all makes perfect sense. He wants you to have your heart's desire. You want a beloved? You want the girl of your dreams, the man of your dreams? Guess what? He wants you to have it. He wants you to be fulfilled. He wants you to be whole. He wants you to be happy. He knows your heart desire, and he wants you to have it because he loves you as much as anything he could ever love. He loves you. It's written we are created just a little lower than the angels. We've got big shoes to fill. We're godlike creatures. We're his children. And we've got a great and wondrous eternal destiny to live out. Just remember that. There is no death. Advise anyone not to ever take their own lives because we're going to take ourselves with us. We've got to get to the bottom of what's bugging us. And it is the evil in this world. And like Jesus said, he said, you must hate your life in this world to have eternal life. Once you get it, once you're enlightened about what's making you miserable, what's really at the root of what's bugging you, and you realize, well, you're a righteous, decent, upright person. You want to be a good human being. You want to value the right values, conscience, integrity, honor, reputation. You want to value your soul. Then it's inevitable that the things of this world bug you, both the organic and the inorganic forms of trouble. So you've got a good complaint, and you can take that to God, and he wants us to take it to him. And then you say, you get it, and you see the departure between what God's will for us is here and now, today, with what we could be experiencing and what we are experiencing. And you say, God, please help us. And you realize that, man, we're in dire straits, the whole human race, civilization at this point in history, and how ridiculous, how absurd, how preposterous it is that humanity is where they are at this point in history. It's just, it's absurd. It's absurd. But it just shows that vast power that the evil doers have in this world temporarily. They've got vast wanton power, mostly controlling us with the money. They control the fear. They've got that insecurity gauge. They tweak. They keep on pushing the envelope. They keep on walking that tightrope. They maintain a critical mass of establishmentarians in just the right positions to keep us. They've got it down to a science to keep us going the direction they want us to go, to manipulate us and corral us. And they're not going to get away with it forever. That's the good news. There's a lot of good news, but just remember, there's no such thing as death. Death itself is a lie from the pit of hell. You can't really kill yourself. You can't really kill another human being. And this has got to be music to the ears of anybody that feels like they can't live with what they've done in life. The remorse with whatever it is, if they've taken a life, maybe in a car accident. I mean, but remember, the pain people experience is experienced by all of us because we are osmotically connected, and it's inextricably so that we're connected. There's nothing we can do about it. We are of one blood, one race, one species. We are of one family, the family of humanity, the family of man, these awesome godlike creatures with virtually unlimited potential. For all we know, we are unlimited in what we can understand. We say, well, we can't understand the boundaries of the universe. Maybe not yet. Maybe we will find out someday. In the scheme of eternity, that's a long time we have to discover and to find things out and to learn and to grow and evolve into these ever more enlightened godlike creatures, able to experience greater and greater joy, but without the lows to bring us down. This somber effect that this world has on our souls and our spirits, our hearts and minds. I mean, we can't witness unnecessary human suffering and not be acutely affected negatively by that. You wonder what makes you want to run? Well, it's because you're a good, decent, upright person. God knows it. You think God holds it against you when he sees you in the manifold ways you try to escape and run and anesthetize yourself, the vices you find to occupy your time, to own your reality because you feel like you own so little of it because you're being forced to do this and that in the name of making a buck, doing what is logical as described by the world, doing what will bring you success and accompanying happiness, financial security, financial freedom, all those practical, pragmatic things that show you have common sense so you can be somebody in this world. God understands it. He understands that, of course, we love money, and we should understand that this is the root of all evil in this world. This organic suffering, I mean, this is across the board. We all have to experience this. The rain falls on the just and the unjust alike, and the sun shines on the just and the unjust alike. So we all have to deal with this, but it's the unnatural stuff, the invented stuff, the conjured up stuff, the manufactured suffering that is so appalling and distasteful, where you just pick on people and you subjugate them, you marginalize them, you make them inferior to you. And this is this elitist spirit of this world, this mentality where you've got this whole segment, this critical mass of people, the establishmentarians that support the status quo, and this trajectory we're going on of ever increasing death and destruction through wealth in disparity and ever growing poverty and hopelessness and overwhelming sense that there are no fixes, that things are just going to get worse and worse forever, and maybe the only answer is just to go blow your brains out, just crawl under a bridge and die or something. Just give it up. Stop trying. You're not strong enough. You're not tough enough. This is only for the fittest. This is survival of the fittest. And the fittest ones have sold their soul long ago. They jumped on that bandwagon, that soulless bandwagon, that ship of fools careening to death and destruction long ago. Those are the prudent ones. They don't value conscience, integrity, honor, reputation. That's for the foolish. No. They value the things of this world. And it's very sad because the things of this world are temporary. And they are rich toward the things of this world, but poor toward God, their owner, that gave them their very existence. They have not honored him. They haven't taken to heart what Jesus said with the new 2 commandments. Love God above all else. I mean, that's reasonable. He's one that gave you your ability to love. He gave you your existence, your 5 senses, the breath in your lungs, the next breath in your lungs, your loved ones, everything good. He gave you your imagination, your ability to think. This is the one to thank. So yes, first commandment is that. And the second commandment is to love one another as he loved us. The love that Jesus showed, that he proving it by dying ruthlessly on the cross, shedding his blood for us sinners so that we could be saved. He paid the price. He paid the penalty. He paid the ransom. And that's how he wants us to love one another, with that same love. Love our enemies, yes. Free ourselves by loving them and seeing through God's eyes that, look, I didn't come for the righteous. I came for those fallen ones, those sinners. Those are the ones I want you to reach, so reach out to them. Show them my love. Tell them what I'm all about. Reveal to them the truth. And explain to them where they have a hard time believing in a loving God in light of all the evidence, the aforementioned evidence. So that's it. That's all we can do is we're trying to win treasures for him, friends, souls, the souls of men, because our values have to be, they are entangled. This is the path to happiness. So our values must be in line with his. We must be on the same page. We must see through his eyes, have the right perspective, perception being reality. And you understand the only viable reality is one we invite him into to direct our paths and to accept that direction of our own free will and accord. And just have that tiny bit of faith to know we can trust him. And just say, okay, I'll abandon every other false belief. I'll abandon all my previous opinions, credos, philosophies, and I'll follow you. And it's simple. He said, my yoke is easy, my load is light. God is not a harsh taskmaster. Remember, we're his children. He loves us. And I talked about the analogy of the parents. I mean, they all love their kids and want only the best for them. So, of course, he wants only the best for us. He doesn't want to experience anything painful, adversarial. Okay? And we could talk about Victor Hugo's famous quote that adversity makes men and prosperity makes monsters. We've got to put that in context and understand a paradox. Because, yes, in this world, when you see things squarely and you go, wow, I don't want to be one of those hoity-toity elitists that, we understand the class division in the land and we really kind of like to struggle a little. You see, that's where the character comes in and the adversity makes the men. Right. In this current paradigm, that's perfectly true. That's just the way it is that like myself, so many people would give everything in the world, anything and everything monetary that money could buy, and all the money, for just to be whole, just to be united with their beloved. A lot of people. I know I'm not alone in saying that. And that's beautiful. And God thinks that's beautiful. That's a very good thing. And he wants us to have that. He wants us to be whole. He wants us to be free. He wants us to be content and satisfied. And we've got to let other people know this. We've got to help win friends for him and help people to be as convinced as I am and you are that indeed he loves you and wants the best for you. You are his treasure and our values are the same. His values are the same. And this is a very copacetic relationship you have with your owner, with the Almighty Creator God, your divine parents. It's a beautiful thing that we must share with people in any format, any method we can. And we've got to encourage and comfort people. Let the Spirit of truth work through us and reveal this to others and help them to understand how close God is, not a distant God and abstract. It's not a difficult relationship. It's just, hey, if it's true, come on. I want to be free. I want to cope. I want to contend. I need encouragement. I need strength. I need comfort. I'm needy, God. Please come to me. And he'll come and he'll do those things for us. And let people know that. When they try it and they find it out, it's just an awesome thing all the way around. And these are lives well spent. I've often said that if I spent my entire life just walking around this planet, letting people know their worth to God, it'd be a life well spent. To let them know they are God's priceless treasure. And listen, I have delayed this poem for a while now, but it's going to take a while to read it. So I am, with no further ado, as they say, I'm going to get on to this poem I wrote last